Going out to eat and door dashing food and all of that crap is one of the quickest ways people waste their money.
Do you want to know what's really rich? This video that I found.
If you love using DoorDash or looking for ways to save money while having a little convenience in your life, sign up for Dash Pass by DoorDash.
It is alarming how these influencers are only an email away from completely selling out. That should scare you. Well, folks, today I'm pulling a good old-fashioned citizen's arrest. That's right. I have several influencers in custody today over the crime of selling out. Selling out probably is the influencer antic that pisses me off the most. And I think before we start, I think I need to define what selling out really means to me. And it's quite simple, actually. It's just any person that compromises their morals, their values, their beliefs for money. Right? For personal gain. They go back on something that they said or that they previously believed, and they manipulated their followers into thinking that they were living their life a certain kind of way. And then when the money comes along or an opportunity comes along, they just ditch all of that and they gladly accept brand deals and sponsorships that don't necessarily align with their brand and basically end up bamboozling their followers. So yes, today I am reading the Miranda rights. Influencers, you have the right to remain silent. And honestly, you probably should, because it's not looking good from where I sit. So anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at these cases. Okay, so our first influencer in custody is this one right here named Ellie. She's a pretty big influencer, actually. Ever since I saw this, I have literally not been able to stop thinking about it. So basically, she was paid to do a Crocs partnership. I gotta go on a tangent right off the start of this video. I hate this whole partner terminology that influencers and brands have started to adopt. And instead of just saying like this is sponsored or this is an ad, they'll just be like, oh, this is a partnership, like we're partners. I don't like that. I know that she's obviously got down here like flagged it paid partnership, but I feel like it's ambiguous. I think that it needs to be more clear. And I think it's a way for influencers to sort of skirt around saying something is sponsored, and because they know that their audience doesn't want to watch sponsored content, of course. So anyway, she was paid to do a paid partnership, paid promotion with Crocs for Coachella. And the whole entire idea behind this advertisement was, hey girlies, instead of the uncomfortable shoes that you're used to wearing at Coachella, you should wear Crocs. And I'm gonna be wearing Crocs because they're more comfortable and you're gonna be walking around all day, and they're also cute. No, I don't think cute and Crocs have ever been in the same sentence. So let's watch this advertisement, shall we?
I've officially decided for my 6th year of festival season, we're ditching the uncomfortable shoes and we're going to the good old classic Crocs.
Good old classic Crocs. This is one of my favorite things that influencers do, which is they show the products that they are promoting with the packaging still on. They haven't even taken it out of the box half the time. They're so lazy that they actually can't even take, the little hanger off that these are on. These have never been worn before. And I think it just is a good illustration of these influencers are selling you stuff that they don't actually use. Okay. And I think that's at the crux of the issue of a lot of these situations that I'm going to bring up is these people are not using the product, yet they're selling it to you and recommending it to you, their audience member, and maybe potentially misleading you into buying something that maybe hasn't been tested by them, is not a genuine recommendation, is not something that they genuinely use in their real life. It's not authentic, it's phony, it's fake, it's fraudulent. I have to laugh every time I see this because I'm like, girl, at least take the hangers off, please. And I also have to point out as well, one of the uncomfortable shoes that she's ditching for festival season are a pair of cowboy boots. So information for later.
Stylish, but extremely comfortable for any festival you will be attending this season. The gibbets are my favorite part because I feel like you can customize them for each outfit and make them super, super creative. You're gonna be walking a lot, you wanna be comfy, but you also wanna have something cute, There's so many different colors and ways to customize them, and I think this is the go-to all festival season long this year.
Okay. She says you're gonna be walking a lot, you're gonna wanna wear Crocs. So from this advertisement, I would then think, okay, I can't wait to check into her outfit looks, okay, which at the time had not come out yet because Coachella hadn't started. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna follow up with her because I wanna see how she actually styles these glitter blue Crocs with flower gibbets, pearl chains, and a gold pineapple. There's no way she's gonna be able to style these. Do you guys think that she wore these Crocs at any part of Coachella. Let's see. So here was one of her outfits. Okay, she's wearing cowboy boots. Cute outfit, but she's wearing cowboy boots. Another outfit, once again, cute, but where's the Crocs? Where are the Crocs? I thought that the cowboy boots were the uncomfortable shoes that we were all ditching. We've got another one, and this one actually happens to be an ad as well. So this is for Revolve. So she's wearing different shoes. I'm waiting for the Crocs. And then here was her day one outfit. And you just can't even make this up, actually. So here was the caption: year 6, still haven't learned the power of a comfortable shoe. Did you or did you not just do a Crocs advertisement? If it's not your brand, and if you're really not truly going to wear Crocs, which you didn't, clearly it was like literally you couldn't even get yourself to do it, even if you're being paid to do it. Why are we taking brand sponsorship money, telling people to go wear Crocs, but you even know deep down that they're too ugly to style? It bothers me. They have the audacity to say, look, I still haven't learned the power of a comfortable shoe. And then here were some of the comments as well. Came for inspo on how to style Crocs. Yeah, so it's like people are coming to our page because they're like, yeah, we want to see how you styled those freaking Crocs. So much for her Crocs ad. Clearly didn't actually wear them. No, not even close. And she never was going to, by the way. Somebody else commented, I knew Miss Girl wouldn't be wearing her Crocs. Where are the Crocs at? Girl, I thought you were wearing Crocs. Where are the @Crocs at? Guys, I feel like this is a great representation of why so many brands are just moving away from influencer marketing and not doing influencer advertisements anymore. It is crazy to not wear the freaking Crocs. I'm sorry.
Day 1, and we thought it would be fun to go looking for one specific item, hunting for the best cowboy boots.
So yeah, she also posted this video, which I just thought was weird. She's going around the festival looking actually for cowboy boots. Like, I personally just feel like it's almost a conflict of interest to be sponsored by Crocs and then you're making videos where you're looking for other cute shoes that you would want to wear. So yeah, here's the people. Where are your Crocs? Almost 500 likes. Did you wear your Crocs? LOL. No. You know, I'm very confused, and she clearly saw some of the comments that were asking where the Crocs were, and she followed it up with this video.
You know what, everyone? The joke is on me. I should have worn my Crocs into the festival. You know why? Because my feet hurt so bad now that these are the only shoes I'll be wearing for the next 2 weeks.
So clearly this is like a last ditch effort to make a joke of it. Be like, guys, I actually am wearing them. Like, joke's on me. Like, I should have done this. No, you should have wore them to the festival. I'm sorry. It's phony. Okay, it's phony, it's fraudulent. I don't like this at all. Don't accept money if you know that you're not actually gonna wear them. If it doesn't align with your brand, if it doesn't align with your style, right? Don't wear them. Anybody with a brain can see right through this. Like, you were not ever planning on wearing those Crocs. You just took the check and thought you could run with it. You know, I just find this to not be acceptable. And I don't think that we should tolerate this from influencers.
Continue to clown me. The uncomfortable shoes were not worth it. In fact, I should have worn these. I actually wear these often when I'm here. That's kind of the ironic part. And I was really, really excited to work with Crocs because I'm an OG Crocs stan. They're very bunion proof. My concept was just around styling them for the festival. And obviously I didn't wear them, but I should have.
Like, how are people buying this? No, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable to be like, yeah, my whole concept was this and then I didn't wear them. And like, what? I think this is crazy. I actually think this is crazy. So I'm not saying like, oh yeah, we got to go brigade this girl's thing. Like, I'm just saying we need to be vigilant of when influencers are lying to us and they're doing stuff like just for a check, and like be like, you know what? That's one strike. Okay, one strike. I'm writing up a citation. Don't ever do this again. Don't ever let me catch you doing this again. I will be watching. No more. First citation has been written up, and it's a heavy fine. The fine is being in this video. So anyway, we need to move on to our next case. All right, so our next influencer that I have in custody is this person named Vanilla Swirl. So she's kind of like a DIY beauty lifestyle influencer, and she does a lot of like at-home beauty treatments, makeup routines. And I think that she's somewhat polarizing, and she's been called out recently because there's a lot of competing ideas and themes going on this account. Okay, so on one hand, she's got this anti-consumer, overconsumption is bad, here's how to save money on beauty products, here's how to do things at home yourself. But on the other hand, she's also selling things constantly. Like it's an influx of new products, sponsorships. Hey, you need to try this new product. Here's this new makeup product. Here's this. Like they just don't work. And I think it leaves a lot of her followers confused. She's come under fire recently because of these compilation videos that this account called Exposing Influencers SX made. And they're kind of shocking. So let's take a look at these.
Influencers could never convince me to buy any Lemmy vitamins. Lemmy Sleep is literally melatonin.
First things first, I need to restock on my Lemmy gummies, specifically Lemmy D-Bloat. I talked about these during my monthly empties. It's been like a week since I've had this and I can't live without it. And I also have been wanting to try Lemmy Sleep because I've heard such good things about it. So I picked up one of these.
I mean, it's just not a great look.
List is kind of similar to Lemmy, but it's Bloom or any one of those greens that promise to de-bloat you, make you skinny, etc.
Basically, the video cuts off, but she's seen drinking Bloom and trying it out and saying it tastes really good and I really love Bloom, which by the way, I mean, I've done a video on Bloom. Why the hell are people buying Bloom? We may have to honestly do a follow-up to that video because I am still seeing tons and tons and tons of undisclosed advertisements for Bloom specifically. Subscribe if you would like to see that one. If I see an influencer promoting Bloom, you lose all credibility in my eyes. Sorry. Here's some of the comments. So it says, when Vanilla Swirl got famous, she basically became the influencers she was trying to be different from. This has 40,000 likes. People are saying, let me lie. 61,000 likes. They all slowly end up with the same voice. 100,000 likes. Yeah, a lot of people are talking right now about the influencer accent. They all talk at like the same cadence. They all make the same videos. You know the drill. I complain about it all the time as well. I'm so upset because I actually really trusted her reviews in the beginning. Why are they all liars for no reason? 36,000 likes. Let me be a liar. Yeah. People saying she's allowed to change her mind in the comments don't get that she's been paid to change her mind. 10,000 likes. You know, I think to also combat that comment that people sometimes leave of she's allowed to change her mind in defense of her, I think that you also have to look at, well, what did she say exactly? What did she change her mind about? She changed her mind about Lemmy gummies being really, really good. Nothing's changed since she made that statement about Lemmy gummies. It is just melatonin. It's marked up junk. Kardashian junk. It's not about changing your mind and like all of a sudden you like these products. It's why did you even start trying them in the first place? When you do a video in the vein of 5 things I'll never be influenced to buy, it means that you're kind of like, oh yeah, I can't be influenced to buy these things ever. I'm gonna stand on these core principles that I follow. So why did you stop following those? Why did you start following for influencer tactics that you know influencers use as an influencer? Let me change my mind. Another comment. Oh my God, so embarrassing. I really liked her.
We have an update on those influencers that built their platforms off of lies, and this makes me so angry that this is now a trend right now, but it's any single-use product that just isn't necessary. So think of those like single-use face cloths, not necessary. It's a waste of money.
Come with me to restock some of my favorite non-negotiable hygiene products. First off, I was so excited to see that these clean towels are now available at Target. And I feel like you guys were excited too because the top 2 rows were almost sold out. But yeah, as an acne-prone girly, I can't imagine not using these.
I mean, that's bad. That's like your cotton 4K. Wow.
Not spend my money on any designer. No designer shoes, purses.
I thought, what better way to celebrate than getting myself a bag that I can pass down to my future daughter?
That's like an annoying thing that influencers do now where they try to be like, guys, no, I'm passing this down. That's why I'm buying all these bags. Like I'm passing it down to my future kids. Just stop, okay? They're trying to rationalize their way out of things and it's not working. Everyone sees through it.
This is all the makeup I own. I checked in 2022 at Sephora, I spent $5,000. That is not normal and that is not okay. I spent $700 at the Sephora sale yesterday, so let's do a haul of everything I bought. For more things that I don't spend my money on, it is a nice car. I drive a paid off Honda Civic that I bought like 5 years
It says fight lifestyle creep.
ago.
Car, I thought this woman hit my car, but she was just parked very close.
And now she drives a Porsche. I mean, what are we doing? It's very jarring because I think that there's something more insidious going on here than just being like a hypocrite or going back on what you were saying that you were doing and selling out and whatever. She gained all these followers off of doing like anti-haul and like anti-consumerism and like you guys don't need anything more than like a beat up Honda Civic that's paid off, like just live with less, like live with the basics. And then meanwhile, she's doing all these things that are not in line with what she's actually saying that she's doing. And the second you got money, you ran out and bought a Porsche. It's weird. I mean, once again, caught in 4K. Like, I don't remember the last time I saw somebody really get caught like this, bar for bar.
I feel like you guys want to talk, so let's sit and talk and kind of clear everything up. In my most recent Shop With Me at Ulta video, I made people very angry by picking up Lemmy gummies in my video.
This is her, by the way, addressing that viral video. So those videos went very viral and she was on skates. She's fighting for her life. She had to do a rebuttal video and be like, try to clear her name.
Mainly because over a year ago, I made a video being like, oh, I don't think I'm ever gonna purchase Lemmy. My supporters and followers who watch every single piece of my content know, like, I've talked about Lemmy during my monthly empties videos, finishing bottles, being like, hey, I actually really like Lemmy D-Blow. I am gonna repurchase this.
It's such a strong departure from what she actually believed. And once again, it kind of goes back to this, like, you gain this audience and this following from gaining the trust of people and being like, look, I'm not gonna fall for influencer antics and neither should you. Then you did the exact same thing.
I've also talked shit about Lemmy since that video. I've literally showed Lemmy Purr being like, I don't know if it did anything. I don't know if I'm gonna repurchase it. So I do apologize if you saw that video from like over a year ago and then you now see me purchasing Lemmy and you're like, girl, what the heck? You're a sellout. Like, what's wrong with you? I understand how that could come across, but I
think that's because that's what it is.
Do want to make it clear, like, I've never worked with Lemmy. They've never sent me PR. I've never signed a contract with them. I've never had a brand deal with them.
I think that what people need to realize is that it doesn't really matter if you were paid to do a paid promotion or contract or you have like a working relationship with them. A lot of these influencers do have affiliate links and things like that. They make money mostly through it that way. And cynically, you do have to take into account, for example, like Tarte Cosmetics. A lot of influencers will try to use Tarte Cosmetics and they will specifically use that because they know that Tarte is a brand that sends a lot of influencers on paid trips. Okay, so they're more incentivized to promote those products, even if they're not being paid. A lot of time there is an underlying ulterior motive and we have to acknowledge it.
Honestly, influenced by my best friend to try it and I ended up liking it. And in my Costco vlog, I made people so angry by buying Bloom, saying that it's a sponsored video, all this stuff. That is the furthest thing from the truth. Literally in the vlog, I was taking a sample of Bloom that they had at Costco and I liked it. The last time I tried Bloom was like 2 or 3 years ago and it did not taste how it tastes now. Now it tastes good. I have like the strawberry kiwi flavor, tastes delicious. So I bought it and I bought it with my own money. Like, Bloom had nothing to do.
Bloom is trash. That's my opinion. Just, I have to side eye anybody who's promoting that crap.
Do with that video. That was me just honestly being like shocked. And I told you guys in the vlog where I'm like, whoa, since when is Bloom good? Like, who was gonna tell me that Bloom was actually good? It sounds annoying, but I am just human. There's times where I use, like, let's say a makeup product, absolutely love it, then a few days later I'm breaking out and I change my mind that I don't like it. Same goes the other way. Sometimes I don't like a product, like a makeup product, skincare product, hair care product, in a different way, try it again, maybe try a different flavor, whatever, and I like it. That's allowed. Like, I'm allowed to change my mind. And I honestly try my best to tell you guys why my mind has changed, so you guys don't feel like you're like left in the dark, you know what I mean? Also do want to talk about my car situation because it made people very, very angry that I drive a Porsche now. Social media can be weird because when you say something, it's kind of set in time forever. So when I said that over a year ago, that was the truth. I was driving my paid off Honda Civic, like loved my Honda Civic so much. But when you see that video on your For You page a week ago, that still seems like the truth. Like, if you don't know me, you're gonna watch that video saying I drive a paid off Honda Civic, then you go to my account and see I drive a Porsche now, you're gonna be like, why are you lying about the car you have?
I think the problem is that when she made that original video, she was kind of like, you don't need anything more than a basic car. And that was like the underlying sentiment with that video. And then to find out that she's driving like, not just like a nice car, but like a super luxury car is quite jarring, I have to say.
Easy to clip 5 seconds of what I said over a year ago and compare it to what I'm doing now and be like, what the heck, you've changed so much. People who watch my videos like quite consistently or have been with me for a while knows what happened to my car. My Honda Civic engine literally blew up. I made a whole video explaining it to you guys, like showing you pictures, being so upset because I was so proud to buy that car and then also pay off that car. When my car became undrivable and was having all of those problems, I kind of took it as a sign to be like, hey,
this is too many words. Okay, just, it seems like somebody who's very guilty. That's my feeling. It's like, girl, you're over explaining at this point.
Let's upgrade, let's get a bigger car, let's get a nicer car. Honestly, I was so proud to be able to afford that car and get that car. Like, it was such a huge milestone in my life and my career to be able to do something like that.
People are not necessarily mad that you've changed your mind, but I think that what's changed your mind is money. And I think that when you can see somebody who's impacted by like, oh, now I have money and I'm gonna spend it on like these luxury things that don't really matter, like flashy things. Like the second that you did get it, you kind of went back on all the things that you said. You know, you're buying Lemmy gummies now, you're buying, you know, a luxury car, like that's the first thing that you went out and bought when you got some cash, you know, whatever. Started buying luxury purses, even though you were like, I don't spend my money on designer things. Like if you really believe the things you were saying originally, you wouldn't then go out and buy those other things.
But I also understand not everyone is going to watch every single one of my videos, so I can understand why there was a misunderstanding. But truly, I am so sorry if you thought I was trying to like hide what car I drive or lie about it. Honestly, I thought I did a good job of like updating you when I was picking up my car, what car I drove. Like, oh, I do apologize if it came off literally any differently. It sounds so cliche, and I feel like all these creators say it, so it doesn't have much weight, but like, I genuinely care about you guys. I genuinely care about like creating good content, telling you guys like what products I love, like affordable products, sharing parts of my life with you. It's literally the highlight of my day. It's giving me so much purpose. I am so sorry if you feel like I led you astray or I said something that might have offended you or you thought I was hiding a piece of my life. Wholeheartedly, I'm sorry because that wasn't my intention and I didn't think I was doing that. So I am so sorry. Okay, bye guys, love you.
Anyway, that was a long apology with not a lot said. So yeah, here were some of the comments. She probably made this before her page blew up and now she got the money to buy, LOL, but people should stop lying. And then somebody commented and said, she had her page for only a year and most of these videos are weeks apart. I don't know if that's true, but if that is, that's actually insane. And then the person comes back and they're like, damn, she definitely didn't think that. Somebody said, someone a little jealous, LOL. By the way, she recently posted a response to this. It's worth hearing. I love Vanilla Swirl. And then the original creator that put together that compilation said, the response basically was, don't listen to anyone else and keep trusting me because I make money off of you. Yeah, it's exactly. That video is very much like, I need to save my own skin. Okay, I need to rationalize why I went back on every single thing that I said that I wasn't gonna do, and I was never gonna be influenced to buy this, and then all of a sudden I'm influenced to buy it. It's phony. So yeah, I watched that video. You know, I saw her comment to a couple people. She was like, well, yeah, that account posted all those without any context, which it's like, does it really need any context? I don't really think so. But I was like, you know what? Let me do my own, let me do my own little investigation here. And so I went back and I found this. Okay, this was in January, and she said 5 things I'm not spending money on in 2025. And I'm like, okay, let me watch this. She probably should just stop doing this kind of content if you're asking me for advice, which nobody is. Like, it's not aging well with her stuff. It's not in line with the constant shilling of new products and here's, you know, this new thing that you got to try and here's this new thing I'm trying. Like, it's just, the two cannot coexist. I'm sorry. So she did a video kind of like things I'm not spending money on. Here's how I'm going to save money. Here's, you know, blah, blah. Let's watch that.
Told you guys I like my money in 2 specific places. Number 1, my bank account. Number 2, the stock market. So here are some things I am not spending my money on in 2025. Number 1 is beauty maintenance. I'm talking hair, nails, lashes, tan.
Nail, hair, lashes, tan. So yeah, this was literally one of the first videos that I saw when I went to her page.
Me for this, but I unintentionally lied to you guys. You guys know I swear up and down, left and right that I will never step foot into a nail salon because I'm cheap and I like to do my nails at home. I've been doing my nails at home now for almost 2 years and I have saved so much money. It's unbelievable. But I got invited on a super fun trip that I have to leave for tomorrow, and the brand needed me to have my nails like a certain design, certain color. And baby, they don't have this color or design and press on nails.
So the second that a brand invites her on a trip, she ditches this whole idea that she has of she'll never step foot in a nail salon. But the second that a brand invites her on a trip, she's there. She's in the chair. Okay, she's in the chair. She's seated. What brand needs your nails to look a certain way? I've never heard of this before. That's like some Tyra Banks Next Top Model. Okay, chop your hair into a pixie. Otherwise, you're not allowed on this trip. I've never heard that before. Okay, I'm sorry, I've never heard that before. To say they don't have this color or design, it doesn't exist. Like, what? At least make the lies believable. Please. She's trying to rationalize why she's going to a nail salon and going back on what she said. And no one's buying it.
Trust me, I checked literally everywhere. And it did in fact pain me to spend $90 on these nails when I swear up and down that I would never do this.
By the way, the nails were like basic brown. They don't have that color. It seems like a lie to me. Anyway, the second that these people get any sort of money, they go back on anything that they've ever said. It's quite scary. Okay, so here's our next influencer in custody. And unfortunately with this one, there is no possibility of bail or parole. This is like insane. So this is Bradley on a budget. He's got 1.1 million followers and he's a self-proclaimed cheapskate. And I think that his whole sort of journey with living frugally started when he shared a story of having over $100,000 of student loans from going to culinary school. I think that, you know, without sounding like too much of an armchair psychologist, he was traumatized by that much debt. I think it's caused him to really become extreme and do things to save money that are sometimes unconventional. Anyway, he then shared those tips with his followers. So here's an example of some of those tips that he shared.
I'm frugal and will do anything to save money, so welcome to an episode of Extreme Cheapskate where I'm going to show you everything I did to save money last week. We have been getting so much rain lately, so I decided to wash my car. I'm honestly shocked that people pay money for car washes when you could just do this for free. That's just how my brain works, but it worked out well.
Honestly, some of these tips are actually not bad. And then there's some things that are like, oh, okay.
3-year-old screen protector off my phone. It's actually not even a screen protector, it's the factory wrapping from when I bought it brand new. And instead of buying a screen protector, I just used Packers tape. I know this sounds insane, but I actually did this 10 years ago when I cracked my phone screen. And the phone still worked perfectly, and I didn't have to replace the screen. I definitely learned a thing or two from survival mode. It's finally time to say goodbye to my toothbrush because I went to the dentist, so I got a new one.
Not great. You're supposed to replace that pretty frequently.
There was a meeting at work that had food catered. These were all the leftovers, so you know I took some to have dinner and for lunch the next day. And I took some napkins to use as toilet paper. If you know, you know. I don't know if this is true, but when I pump gas, I don't clench on the lever all the way down. I heard you let a lot of air in when you do that. I guess apparently if you fill your tank slowly, you put less air in the tank, so you get more gas. I cook every single meal at home, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Not only is this much healthier, but it saves so much money every month because we all know going out to eat has gotten so expensive at this point.
Just keep what he just said in mind for future.
Okay, controversial, but I haven't had health insurance for like 5 years now. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just being honest with what I've done to save money.
So some of these are controversial, obviously.
I don't go shopping. I don't constantly buy little sweet treats. Don't make impulse purchases that I see on social media. I'm grateful for what I have, and if it still works, I'm not throwing it out.
So obviously that's an example of some of his content. Now, you can probably imagine his audience's surprise when he comes out and does an advertisement with DoorDash, which to me is arguably one of the biggest wastes of money in the 21st century. Yeah. This was his advertisement, and I'm gonna watch the whole thing because it's honestly like it's not even well done, and it's completely antithetical to everything that his account stands by.
Pass by DoorDash has so many ways that you can save money as a member, so I'm gonna go on the streets and see if I could save some people money on their grocery delivery fees. Let's go. Are you someone who typically has groceries delivered?
Yes, I do. So I'm a college student. So between juggling classes and work, it's always really convenient to have my groceries delivered to my dorm.
As a new dad, it's really convenient to have groceries delivered.
And how much do you pay for the delivery fee?
Typically like $8.
How much does it typically cost you to have your groceries delivered?
About $7 to $8.
Have you heard of Dash Pass by DoorDash?
No, I haven't. What is that?
With Dash Pass, they offer 0 delivery fees and reduced service fees for orders that qualify.
I feel like
Orders that qualify. Read the fine print, people.
that could save me so much money.
As a new dad, that's definitely going to save me a lot of money.
Dash Pass members get thousands of member-only exclusive deals to help them save even more. Are you going to sign up for Dash Pass?
Oh my gosh, I think I will.
All right.
Like, nobody wants to watch this corny video. I'm sorry. Like, it's not even a well done ad, but that's not the part, obviously, that's upsetting people. This is a complete and utter, by definition, sellout moment where an influencer has completely compromised all of their morals and values and basically lit a match and threw it onto their brand and their trust with their audience. That's how I see it. You know he's not using DoorDash.
If you love using DoorDash or looking for ways to save money while having a little convenience in your life, sign up for Dash Pass by DoorDash.
DoorDash partner, DoorDash, give yourself a pass, Dash Pass, paid partnership. Lots of comments here, so let's take a look at those. People not happy. That's selling out. Wow. 3,000 likes. Bradley, I know a check is a check, but it's hurting the brand and your credibility. Exactly. Brad, be for real. When have you ever used DoorDash? 7,000 likes. You sold out and I'm sad about this. 2,000 likes. You would never condone such a thing. How is using DoorDash being smart with our money? Question mark. You have to remember, I mean, his audience is full of people who are most likely on a budget, saving money, following his lead. You know, he is basically, for all intents and purposes, their accountability partner. They think to themselves, oh, well, would Brad order DoorDash right now? So no, I'm not going to order DoorDash. Like, would Bradley make all of his meals at home? Yeah, he would. So I'm going to do the same thing. He's got a lot of responsibility. as this person that has created this community of people. And the second he got some money, he sold out for a check. The fact that he has actually been reprogramming my brain and now he's doing this, I honestly want to cry. I deleted that app because of him, obviously referring to DoorDash. Sold out, wow. He literally says to not eat out and not to order food. Talk about selling out. Bradley, no, but also get those coins with the partnership. No more. If I see one more comment that says, just let him get his bag, get your bag, no. Sorry, no. I don't support anyone getting their bag over an inauthentic, disingenuous, fraudulent ad of something that they don't even use in their regular life. And they've said so much. No way you advise us to spend $100 to get Dash Pass. My question is, did DoorDash watch all of his vids and then talk down on people who use DoorDash and that it was a waste of money before offering him this sponsorship? Yeah, Bradley, you're the last person I would ever expect to use DoorDash or Dash Pass. Yep. Do you want to know what's really rich? This video that I found. 7 ways to save money ASAP. Let's watch.
7 things you could start doing right now to save money today, coming from someone who was once in $130,000 of debt making $12 an hour. Number 2, you're not going out to eat. You're not going to go get coffees. You're cooking all of your food at home. Going out to eat and door dashing food and all of that crap is one of the quickest ways people waste their money.
One of the quickest ways that people waste their money. Literally said the words DoorDash. He didn't even say like Uber Eats, food delivery. He said DoorDash. Genuinely, you should be ashamed. This is crazy that this video exists.
If you tell me you don't have time to cook your own food, you need to start finding time. You need to cut it with the BS excuses because the excuses don't pay your bills. To make it easier, you can meal prep.
You know what pays his bills? DoorDash money. Does anyone have integrity anymore? Or morals or values? I'm asking.
To cook food ahead of time and spread it out throughout the week. The 4th thing, cut every subscription that you have right now.
Oh, you mean like Dash Pass, which is a monthly subscription service through DoorDash, which you're selling to people, your audience, you're selling that to people. It's just rich. You can't even make this up. You cannot even make it up.
Your bills and your well-being matter more than the next episode of that series you're watching. You need to take care of your finances and put yourself first, and you need to cut these subscriptions right now.
Yeah, so then this one, shout out to Shoddiness. Somebody got this one on recording. He was on a live stream, and this is him responding to some of his unhappy fans.
I don't know. I'm signed into the contract. I can't back out. So,
Signed the contract. Nothing I can do. So these people do not give a about their audience. They don't care. They don't care what they have to say or do to get money.
And then I have another brand deal starting next week. So I don't know if people are just going to think I'm just this big
sellout.
I don't know. Oh my God, I'm going to get in trouble for saying it.
Another one coming up. Oh, great.
There are people on this planet who get their groceries delivered. And there's people on this planet who use DoorDash. And I'm sure I have supporters who are both. I'm sure I have supporters who get their groceries delivered for convenience.
You can see the wheels spinning in his head, trying to come up with a reasonable explanation, which there is none, for why he did what he did.
And I'm sure there's supporters of mine who use DoorDash. So, and literally a supporter of mine was part of the campaign and reached out to me to do it. So a literal budget baddie who worked on the team reached out to me to do the ad. So it's not like they just reached out to me not knowing who I was. It was a literal supporter of mine who recommended me for the campaign because it's about saving money on grocery delivery, which is what a lot of people do. And just because I don't physically do it doesn't mean I might not be saving other people money.
The rationalizations. If an influencer does not use a product themselves, it is not a genuine and authentic sponsorship, recommendation, nothing. I don't want to hear it. And for him to even come out and say, because I don't use it myself, doesn't mean other people won't. You've said it yourself that DoorDash is the quickest way to waste money. DoorDash specifically. What are you thinking right now? Just stop.
Who get their groceries delivered. And then the other video on Sunday is for using Lyft. Do I use Lyft? No. But
do I use Lyft? No. It's not going to stop him from doing a sponsorship with them, though. How is it that we have people out here caught in literal 4K admitting that they don't use the products that they're promoting to people, selling to people, Okay, accepting cash for products that they don't even use, therefore cannot recommend in good faith. And we have no problem with it. We have people down here saying, you're all good, get your bag, get some integrity.
Does that mean everyone on the planet does not use Lyft? No. Just because you guys know there's things that I do that you wouldn't do. But the point of my content is taking what works for you. So if you don't use DoorDash, don't pay attention to the ad. If you don't get your groceries delivered, don't pay attention to the ad.
I love this. I love when influencers do this. I love it. I love it because it's one of the worst arguments that you could possibly say. The whole entire point of an advertisement is so that this brand can access a group of people that they have not previously had access to, who are not already customers, okay? They don't want to do an advertisement with Bradley on a budget because he has this huge audience of people that are already using DoorDash and already signed up for DoorPass and Lyft, okay? This is what's so disgusting about this. They want access to his audience of people who are trying to be mindful, who are trying to save money, and who will listen to anything that Bradley on a budget says, and they want them to sign up for Dash Pass because those are people that probably would never sign up for Dash Pass unless they were directed to do so. What do you mean just don't pay attention to the ad? Oh, if it doesn't apply to you, just don't pay attention to the ad. That's the point of the ad, is to access those people who don't use it. It's not to say, hey guys, if you're already signed up for Dash Pass, keep going. It's to make sales. What? I hate this. I see so many influencers that are like, if you don't like it, just scroll. Well, I already saw it and I didn't like it, so now I'm gonna tell you about it. Like, what?
I don't know.
$1 breakfast is a deal, but I'm going to show you as a frugal person how much cheaper it is if you just make it yourself.
There's just so much content that he has on his page about he doesn't get out to eat. He eats every meal at home. Like, it's so ridiculous that he would take this sponsorship.
I don't have time in the morning to cook for myself. Shut up.
So yeah, remember how he said that Lyft sponsorship was coming? Here it is, okay? Enjoy many benefits of Dash Pass by DoorDash, like discounts on Lyft rides, okay? So here's another just horribly done ad.
If you need a ride, Dash Pass by DoorDash helps you get cheaper rides with Lyft. Every Dash Pass member gets 5% off on-demand Lyft rides and 10% off scheduled airport Lyft rides. New Dash Pass members get a free 3-month Dash Pass trial, and you know free's my favorite word. Plus with Dash Pass, you get $0 delivery fees on eligible orders. Catch a cheaper ride today with Lyft using Dash Pass.
A lot of those clips, by the way, that he used for that Lyft advertisement were clips from this other video that he did where he did a 16-hour vacation. Let's take a look at how he actually travels, because do you really think that he's taking a Lyft to the airport or anywhere?
And went on a 16-hour vacation to Fort Lauderdale, and this is the total cost of my frugal vacation from start to finish. Wait till you see how cheap the flight was. So I walked to the airport, just kidding, I took the bus. I used public transportation throughout the entire trip because it's way more cost effective than Ubering everywhere, and honestly, it was kind of fun.
We're caught in 4K again. I mean, we're caught red-handed. Yeah. Oh, and you're getting thrown in the clink. You're getting thrown in the clink because this is crazy. Literally, not even that long ago, he goes on a vacation and he says, hey guys, take public transportation because it's so much cheaper than doing an Uber. Literally costs less to do public transportation for the entire trip than for one Uber ride, which is true. It's good advice. When he's doing these types of videos, he's making, for the most part, he's giving genuinely good tips. Why did you do this? Especially knowing you had all this other content, like years worth of content where you were talking down on people that used food delivery and Lyft and blah, blah. Why? It's crazy watching what money will do to people.
For the entire trip, it only cost me $8.50 to get around, which is way cheaper than one Uber getting to the airport.
So here's some comments. I'm confused. If I get a Dash Pass, aren't I stupid? Yeah, because he literally said it's stupid. Okay. Switched up the minute he got the opportunity to. Yep. 2,400 likes. The man that walked 1 hour to take the bus to the airport is trying to sell me a Dash Pass. Yep. It's just very rich. Sellout. Yep. This has to be a recession indicator. The thing is, Bradley, you consider the check in front of you, not the losses you could sustain from that check. Not every job is worth it. That is exactly the truth. Honestly, to me, all credibility is lost from this point on. For me, there's no moving forward after this one. I'm canceling my Dash Pass because of this collab. This won't go over well, Bradley. Yep. Be so for real. Yeah. Oh, people are not having it. Brand partnership makes no sense. Like, get your money, but also protect your brand. Oh, it's over. You know, in reality, you'd rather walk than pay DoorDash. Yep. Well, he already said on the live stream, I don't use DoorDash and I don't use Lyft. Yet, for some reason, we're promoting it. Baddie, we respect the hustle, but I'm confused because I thought that this would be the one thing that we shouldn't do. Yeah. Think about all the things that he could have done, like brand sponsorships that he could have taken that would have made sense, right? Like doing, for example, working with one of those companies that looks for hidden subscriptions and cancels them for you. Something along those lines. What about a budgeting app? Do something along those lines. Reusable products, whatever. I don't know. Almost anything but this. This is crazy.
Hello everyone, I just wanted to give my unsolicited take on Bradley on a budget promoting DoorDash. Now, this isn't meant as an attack on Bradley himself. I actually really do enjoy the content that he creates, but given the extreme frugality that he has shown us throughout these past couple of years, the person who goes out of their way to pick up bottles in trash bins, the person who works multiple jobs throughout the week, the person who mixes water with their eggs every morning.
Yep.
I find it very hard to believe that someone like Bradley would, actually use DoorDash.
He doesn't. And that's the worst part. And I'm so tired. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. I am so tired of influencers promoting products that they don't use, or they use them once. And they're just like, yeah, money, please. You can't trust any of them.
It's a complete 180 of everything that his account represents. It's almost as if there was a vegan account that, randomly started promoting a meat product, right?
We've seen that before too.
It's very unlike him and very shocking to say the least, which is why I believe, most of the community perhaps feels a certain sense of betrayal as a result of this, advertisement. But
it's normal to feel betrayal when someone has completely betrayed all of their personal values and beliefs for personal advancement, right? For personal gain. Betrayed would be the right word.
Guys just see that Bradley on a budget just had a partnership with like DoorDash Pass or like Uber Eats. You know he ain't.
You know he ain't. No. POV. Me discovering that Bradley on a budget posted a sponsored video for DoorDash Dash Pass, knowing it goes against everything he stands for. Yep. Here's another comment that I read that I completely agree with. So it said, it was so disingenuous. It goes against his entire platform and pointed out, to me at least, that he can lie without batting an eye. You can't go around for months saying daily that eating out is stupid and then do a sponsored ad for DoorDash. You have to see the hypocrisy in that. Yeah, I think it's very startling, obviously, to see how easy it was for him to accept this money for a product that he knows would be detrimental to his audience of people who are most likely on budgets, trying to live frugally. And DoorDash is basically a trap. I also saw these comments as well. Loudly sharing on social media that you have $250K saved in the bank, but refusing to get healthcare or even shoes that aren't falling apart is anything but smart, or a little bit anything. Those two things alone can be life career ending at worst and physically debilitating at best. This is another component to this, is that he has, in a lot of his content, he's basically talked about how much he's been able to save in the last couple of years, how much he's been making as well, like through his side hustles and the different jobs that he's been doing. Like he made, I think, close to $100,000 last year or something like that. So he's like talking about how he's basically got all this money now. Okay, we know that, and you're still doing these advertisements. I'm just tired of influencers promoting stuff they would never use in real life. He said before and in previous videos that ordering food is a huge waste of money. Yeah.
Bradley, that DoorDash partnership must have been some good money, because you're the same guy that told me not to buy pre-cut fruits. You said it'd be stupid if I buy that. And I started buying whole fruits and just cutting it myself. Saved me a whole lot of money, Bradley. You helped me a whole lot there. But I understand why you took it. It was probably a good deal, good partnership.
I don't understand it.
But Bradley, just let me know if you're really using DoorDash.
He's not. But yeah, this is a good example of like, he was genuinely helping people, and people listen to what he has to say. They listen to his tips, right? And they implement those tips in their real life. So if he's promoting something like DoorDash or Lyft, people think then it's okay to use those products, which that would not be good for somebody who's on a money-saving journey.
Thought you were never going to see me again and you could just start.
Here's somebody getting an Uber Eats order together when I hear Bradley on a budget yelling at me to wake up, so I go for the random soup can in my pantry instead. I cannot be spending $30 on a Chick-fil-A order. No, sir, not in 2025. Exactly. Look at all these people that follow him and follow his advice.
Stupid with your money. Wake up!
Bradley on a budget promoting DoorDash has the internet in shambles. People are like, what are you doing? They're calling him out, saying it's lacking integrity. But here's where I think
I am saying that, yes,
he could have done it right, that actually would have honestly saved him a lot of backlash. Rather than talking about saving on the delivery fees, what he should have pitched to DoorDash was talking about how using something like DashPass and grocery delivery helps you avoid as many impulse purchases when you're walking down the aisles. You could even talk about not only sticking to a budget, but maybe sticking to certain types of foods, or if you have certain health goals you're working towards. I mean, any of those things probably would have been better.
Here's the problem, right? He didn't say any of these things. He never said any of these things. He didn't promote it that way at all. He's not thinking about that. He was thinking about the money. He doesn't know to say these things because he doesn't actually use DoorDash, and he doesn't use DoorDash for that reason. So it would be also pretty fake and fraudulent to be like, yeah, here's all the reasons why DoorDash is great when he doesn't use DoorDash in the first place. So he doesn't know to say these things. Somebody that's actually using DoorDash and actually using it to save money, if it even does that, which it doesn't, they would know to say these things. But he doesn't know that because he doesn't use it. And this is the problem. This is exactly what I'm trying to argue right now. And this is the crux of the issue of why we cannot have influencers promoting products they don't use.
And then also him coming as a non-sponsored post and sharing, here's how my views have changed, because I think that's where people are feeling super slighted.
His views haven't changed. That's the problem. He's literally on live stream right after that saying, yeah, well, I personally don't use it, but other people might. Other people might.
This is not a service you like. You're only doing it for a check, which honestly, therefore, is not even that good of a look for DashPass to use him. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Post them in the comments.
No, it's not a good look for DoorDash, and I'm sure that this completely backfired on them. I show you that video because I have a sneaking suspicion that Bradley on a budget watched that same video that we just watched and then tried to use those talking points in this follow-up apology video. So let's watch that.
I know we need to talk because there was a sponsored post that I made recently and it got quite a variety of reaction. There were supporters who didn't see a problem with it. They said this isn't a big deal.
I like how that's how he points out first, is that there were people that were like, this isn't a big deal.
They were proud of me to get a big opportunity like that, but I also saw the exact opposite reaction of people who were confused or shocked or disappointed. And I just wanted to take some time to sit down and talk to you. I know this isn't me getting hate. This is you guys being disappointed. And I've been so let down and disappointed in my life that I always try to do everything I can to not have other people disappointed in me.
What? This is pretty easy to avoid, this one right here.
Because I know what that feels like. You guys are like friends to me. And if a friend...
I can't with the influencers being like, guys, it happened in the last video too, last apology video. Guys, I love you so much. I love you guys. No, I love your money. Translator. Can we get the translator in here? I love your money. Guys, I love your money. I love to sell things to you and get money off you and sponsorship opportunities. That's what they love. You guys, you give me so much purpose. No, getting money gives you purpose. Okay? Getting money.
And came to me saying that they were disappointed in something. I would want to sit down and talk to them about it. I had an opportunity pop up, and when it popped up, I freaked out because it was the biggest opportunity I've ever received, and I couldn't believe it.
It is alarming how these influencers are only an email away from completely selling out. That should scare you.
Waited until I got more information and learned what the collaboration was going to be about before I decided to move forward with it. It wasn't an instant sell for me, if that makes sense.
It doesn't matter if it was an instant or you mold it over for 2 weeks. Actually, if you mold it over for 2 weeks, that would actually be worse because then you weighed the pros and cons and you're like, oh, you know, I'm still going to do this inauthentic ad.
Told that it's a membership, and with this membership that you can get a lot of different perks.
It's a membership. No, it's actually a subscription. Something that you've actually talked to people about multiple times and said you need to cancel all subscriptions, and you also should not use DoorDash. You specifically said that. Guys, let's not allow any of this, whatever he's about to say, detract from the fact that he took a sponsorship from a company that he does not use.
And discounts and savings from it could possibly help you guys save money. I'd say in the past like 6 months or so, I've started to get a lot more brand deal opportunities. And Trust me when I say there's a lot that I don't take.
Influencers always do this. They're like, you have no idea how many I turned down. I turned down so many. Okay, I don't care if you turn down 1 million. If the one that you do is inauthentic, I really don't care. Sorry.
Even this morning, I literally had a brand hit me up on Instagram saying, we're a skincare company. If we send you free products, can you advertise it? I get that stuff a lot. I get encouraged to do TikTok shop. That to me would feel disingenuous, or that to me would not feel like what I'm about. Anytime I get an opportunity that comes my way to advertise something, I always say, is this something that could potentially benefit my supporters, or would this not? To me, it felt like it was something that aligned with what I do. It felt like if there's people who feel like that could be helpful for them, this ad may be a good idea to go through. If I would tell a friend, hey, I have this thing that could possibly help you save money with things like grocery delivery or whatnot, let me tell you about it. Me posting that video felt like the same exact thing. I talk a lot about the difference between what is something you need and what's something that you want. For some people need grocery delivery. There's some people who don't have a car, or there's some people who are disabled or elderly or first-time parents and they don't have an hour to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, except you didn't talk about any of this in your original ad. So why didn't you say it then?
Sometimes people can actually save money by ordering their groceries online and having it delivered because you're not in the store being tempted by every little thing you see. That sometimes people actually can save money by ordering groceries and having them delivered.
Why didn't you say that? Or did you watch somebody else's video saying what you should have done and then used it for your apology?
It's never fun to feel like a letdown to people or to disappoint people, and I know I did, and I'm really sorry about that. I feel like people never want to hear this from a content creator, but I'm just a normal person. I make choices, I make mistakes. I am just like a one-man show.
Look, I'm sorry, but you're not. You're not a normal person. You have 1.1 million followers. You have a huge platform, which comes with a huge responsibility to not lie to your audience and not mislead them into potentially spending money on something that's not actually going to benefit them in any way, shape, or form. It actually goes against everything that you've actually been teaching them and cultivating on your channel. It goes against actually what you believe yourself. So no, you're not a normal person. And to parade around like you're anything but that is, once again, it's fraudulent. Okay? You're just trying to get out of it. You're not. You have a huge responsibility and you owe it to your audience to do genuine advertisements if you're even going to do them. This is gross.
Doing all this, I'm no different than you. It's just I have hundreds of thousands of people watching everything that I do. Sometimes I'm just going to miss the mark. I guess just a heads up too, I have other sponsored posts that are scheduled. It's already contracted and it's coming up.
Excuse me?
Just so you guys know. I just want to finish the video with this.
Jump cut. Wait a minute. Excuse me. So doing this a whole apology, you're like, just so you guys know, by the way, there's more coming. I know you're all disappointed in me and I don't ever want to disappoint people. By the way, there's more where that came from. Like, what?
I'm so grateful for the life that I live, for you guys, for this platform, and just putting something good out there in a world that feels pretty not good most of the time. So thank you guys for everything. I love you to the moon and back. I'll always love you to the moon and back, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
You're so grateful. So you turn around and you do this. You sell out and you basically say, F you guys. I mean, really, that's what it feels like. So yeah, personally not buying it. Sorry. I've seen everything that I need to see. The verdict is in. And these influencers are guilty. Guilty on all charges of being sellouts. I really want to talk to you guys about why it's important to have these types of discussions about this type of behavior that we see. And I think it's important because when you ask, especially children these days, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? I don't know if you know this, but the #1 job is they want to be a YouTuber, they want to be an influencer, they want to be a social media star. For some reason, this is the life that kids aspire to, okay? I don't necessarily think that that's a great thing. But with platforms like this, it comes with great responsibility to be truthful, to do things with morals and integrity and ethics, right? And you're showing people basically, you know, how to act. And you have to do things the right way. And it's important that when you're doing these advertisements, you get to a place where you know, brands want to work with you because they know that you have a strong audience that follows you and they trust your recommendations. You have to treat that extremely seriously, okay? And you can't like around and sell out and sell things that you don't actually believe in and products that you don't actually use and just do anything for a quick check and like, oh, people forget about this. Oh, well, whatever. People aren't going to buy this anyway. People aren't going to click on the link anyway, so who cares? That's not right. You're teaching children, you're teaching young adults that it's okay. And it's not okay. It's not okay to lie. And it's not okay to operate without a solid set of values of I'm going to do good and I'm going to do the right thing, right? And by selling out and doing these advertisements and doing these sponsorships and like this fraudulent behavior, that's not the right thing. And I am so tired of seeing the culture of influencers constantly doing these things. So that's why it's important that we talk about these things. That's why I will continue to keep making videos like this one. I'll continue to keep calling it out because it has to be called out because we can't allow this anymore. So anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Obviously, I do tons of videos like this one, many more to come, many more are in the works. So stay very tuned. Leave a like if you did like this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Tasty breakfast burrito. I always find something to watch on YouTube because it's free.